Welcome. In this session, we will talk about the questions which were asked for your CUET PG Geography exam 2024. Now, first thing to note was that questions were not very direct. Some of the questions were based on rote memory. A lot of questions were application based as well, and few questions based on contemporary information. For example, the soil classification of Ukraine was asked. Now, since Ukraine is in news these days, question related to Ukraine was related to the soil of Ukraine. Similarly, there was another question on soil which was talking about the Chernozem soil. There were questions pertaining to production, the highest in production in terms of fish production, coffee production. Then questions related to earthquake. Now, when the questions were related to earthquake, these were statement based questions asked on P waves and S waves. So again, statement based questions were part of the paper this time. Questions were also related to Daly's theory of mountain building. So theories again became important, and the questions were not very direct from your bachelor's syllabus, so a little more depth was required. Similarly, from the practical geography, questions related to climograph was asked. Now, climograph has recently been added as part of your UGC NET syllabus as well, revised in 2019. So again, ethergraph, climograph becomes important for your upcoming examinations as well. One question again on climate was related to the climatic classification. As usual, you always have questions related to climatic classification. So this question again becomes important. Now, moving from climatology to oceanography, question was based on ocean currents across the globe and bifurcating the cold and the warm currents, right? So this was again an important question which was asked. From the section on environment, a very basic question was there which pertained to the primary consumers. So herbivores as the primary consumers. Now the examples were given and you would have to identify the primary consumers. Note that all these questions are based on these are memory based on the feedback received from the students. So there could be variations. Now urbanization and the order of urbanization across various states in India was another question. The rate of urbanization, so the urban growth becomes an important topic. So as you can see, each and every topic was touched. Now from the geological section, there were few questions related to geology. One pertained to the universe and the theories. The second pertained to the rocks. So quartzite rock was one of the rocks which was asked. Similarly, there were questions related to Indian geography which talked about the Himalayan range. So Pir Panjal was one of the ranges which was asked in the question. Similarly, a question was asked on the books and chronology. So books and chronology, the order. Now here what is important is understanding the history of geographical thought in detail. So whether it was the Arab civilization, the medieval period, the ancient scholars and the modern scholars. So the Roman civilization, the Roman Greeks and so on. So all those scholars you must remember by order, and therefore this was a question which we could say was extensively based on rote learning. Now Verenius, the Geographia Generalis is one of the book, Cosmos by Humboldt, Almagest by Ptolemy. So those were some of the books that were asked in the sections on book and chronology. Now another question pertained to one of the recent developments was related to environment, and that talked about eutrophication in lakes. So eutrophication, a very important topic, and this is again important for students aspiring for environmental sciences. So this was one of the other questions. Then in the section on research, there was a question pertaining to what is the difference between nominal, ordinal and rank order. So order of classification and the type of classification was another important question which was asked. So these were some of the memory based questions that we have picked, but more or less questions pertained from each and every subsections of geography. So there were questions from climatology, geomorphology, Indian geography, geographical thought, economic and transport geography, and so on and so forth. So firstly, you cannot leave any section untouched. So if you cover the video lectures comprehensively, you will have a good understanding understanding about each of these topics. The questions were not actually difficult, but they required thorough understanding in most of the cases, and also in certain cases rote learning questions were based. So this was a kind of mixed paper which was asked. We will be covering many such interesting sessions and important topics for your upcoming 2025 examinations in the next sessions. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining in today.